Hey guys, I just received this box here from SEAFROGS. Inside that is a new prototype port for the SEAFROGS housing. So it's for the Sony A7III F4. So I'm pretty psyched, so we'll rip on in and check it out. So 7200 is my favorite focal length for shooting in the water. So the reason for that is the longer lens will just give like a little bit extra compression in your images. So if you're shooting with an interesting backdrop, it just sort of brings that closer into the wave and makes it like a little bit bigger in the frame, so it looks a little bit more impressive. And you can also isolate out little details on the wave, or you can just isolate out the wave itself. So for the last couple of years, the Sony A7RIII and the 7200 F4 has been my go-to combo of shooting in the water. So pretty much all my favorite images have been shot with this lens. All right, so let's rip on in and we'll check out what's inside. So this is a pre-production version of this port. So the final model might not look exactly like this, but give you an idea of what it's going to be like. All right, so we've got a handle. So this has been designed to go on the bottom of the port, which I've never shot like that before, so I'll be sort of interested to see how that goes. This little bit of foam here, so this is just to hold like the lens in place on the end of the port so it doesn't really move around. Little wrap, bit of hardware. Okay, then in here, this is the actual part of the port right there. So you can see this isn't big enough to fit a 7200 in, but what it's designed to do is you're going to use it with your regular flat port. So the extension there, that makes the port. So it's kind of cool. Sort of means that instead of having like multiple ports, like one small port, one big port, you can just combo them up together if you need to. It's got a little zoom gear inside there. Feels good. It's like these ports are kind of plasticky, whereas this is a full metal port. So because SEAFROGS have never had a 7200 port before, I actually made my own one. When I say made, I just kind of grabbed a few bits and jammed it together. So the one I had the macro port with the extension ring. This was actually a gear for the 90mm macro as a manual focusing, but it managed to fit pretty nicely onto where the zoom for the 7200 is. So I'd actually just jam a little rubber band around there, jam that on, and good to go. So I'm pretty excited to have an actual factory made port for the 7200. My one works okay, but I'm pretty sure this one's gonna be a lot better. So first thing we're gonna do is fit this zoom gear. So what we do is put the lens back to 70, and then we put the zoom gear, so the first tooth on the zoom gear is on the 70. Pull that around the base and then Velcro that guy on as tight as we can. So you want to make sure this gear is right down the bottom of the zoom. That's where it needs to be, so it engages with this little control on the side of your port. All right, that's on, seems pretty solid. All right, so then the next step we want to do is grab our housing, grab the zoom part of the port there. So then we just line up these two dots. So dot on the port, dot on the housing. There we go, fits in. And then we turn until the little red guy clicks. So once that clicks, you know that's locked in. So that's the zoom part of the housing all locked and loaded. So next up, what we do, we've got the regular flat port, so we're gonna put that on, but they've just mocked up the spacer. So this is designed to sit in the end of the port there to stop the end of your 7200 lens from moving around. So obviously they just whipped this guy out, but there will be a legit one when it is in the finished product. This looks like something I would have made. Push it to the end there. There we go. Kind of crude, but that should keep the lens nice and centered in the middle there. So then what we do, we just attach that regular flat port onto the zoom extension. Line those dots up again, and then just twist that guy on so she's tight. There we go, all locked in. Man, I like it already. This is way better than the one I had. One I had was like a little bit longer and it was pretty cumbersome. This feels legit. Okay, so then next step, what we do would be grab this little handle here, and we are gonna jam that on. Okay, so this guy's gonna attach to the base of your housing here. So we've got a bit of hardware for that. Got a couple of different screw options. So one screw which has got the Allen key, could use that. Other screw which has kind of just got a regular Phillips head. I think I'm going to go with the Phillips head one because that's a little bit easier to find than an Allen key. And worst comes to worst, I could undo that with like a knife or something. So let's jam that guy on. Got my world's smallest screwdriver. Pretty handy to have in your housing baggie. Okay, screw that guy on. So I've never used a handle like this on the 7200 port, so I'm sort of pretty interested to see how it's going to feel and what it's going to be like to shoot with. Could be kind of cool. All right, lock that in. Okay, and then we have a strap system here. It goes around the front of the port. Then we pull that strap tight. And then we got the handle. Can't work out if I like this. So because the handle is on the base here, it sort of means you can't shoot with the pistol grip at all, but that's not really a big deal because a lens this length, like a 7200, you generally wouldn't shoot with a pistol grip anyway, so no biggie. So I've never really shot with a handle like this on a 7200 port. I've shot with like side handles before. I think this is kind of good because it's a bit more balanced with the side handle. Everything's a bit front heavy, so probably quite good for keeping things steady. I'd say for shooting like slow shutter stuff, it actually might be a little bit easier like this. You could shoot sort of holding it underneath, or you could kind of shoot, no, I don't think you'd shoot that way actually. I think underneath is probably the way to go with this guy. It's also a really good way to carry it, like if you're walking to the beach. Yeah, super comfy that way, holding it upside down. Okay, then the next step we do is we just pop that guy in. So the only real different thing you need to do here when you're popping this in is just to make sure you pull out the little zoom control as you put the camera in. Otherwise it's going to catch on the zoom collar. So we just jam that guy in. Here we go. Close it up like normal. And then, how's we going? Oh, yep, that is a smooth zoom. Okay, that works a lot better than my old system. That's really nice and smooth. Yeah, that's epic. Pumped to go try that out. Now I'm used to this handle, I'm feeling it. I used to sort of hold it on the end of the lens, but yeah, it's not that great a grip there, so yeah, it feels really comfy. I don't know if I was gonna like that. I like it. So the lens, you can see the lens is positioned in the middle there. Obviously it won't be this super ghetto packaging style ring, it will be a legit foam ring when that's done, but this is gonna stop your lens from moving around, keeping everything super stable in there. There's just enough room they've left, so if you wanted to put a filter on, sometimes I shoot with an ND filter, or if you shoot with like a polarizing filter or just a UV filter, that should fit in there fine. So let's give a little demo on the zoom now. So this is the zoom at 70mm, and then we'll crank the little zoom gear up on the side and we'll get there all the way up to 200mm. So it's super epic to have that sort of versatility with something in the ocean. Yes, I'm stoked on this prototype port for the 7200. Works great. It's going to be awesome to have like the full range of the zoom in the water. I'm pretty happy just to use it as is. Obviously it's going to be a little bit slicker in production. We'll have a little nicer spacer in there, I'm sure, and I'm sure they'll make a couple of other little adjustments, but a real ant to take it for a swim, but unfortunately it's dead flat here today, so I'm going to do that as a separate video. So if you want to be up to date when I drop that one, just click below to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next vid.
Hello, wake up! Rambo needs you to subscribe to his channel! Subscribe to Rambo's channel, subscribe to Rambo's channel, subscribe to Rambo's channel.